Howdy, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Artvillas, not somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. Oh my God, well, you're probably thinking, hey, Manic Mark, you're drinking hard cider. How could you figure that out? I worked really hard today. After working hard all week, I mowed the lawn, and then somebody I live with that likes to plant plants that you can't frickin' get rid of. I'm not even going to go into the trumpet vine. That thing's, why the earth is not covered with trumpet vines right now, I have no idea. Trumpet vines and kudzu. Wisteria is another problem. Okay, I don't want that in there anymore. Okay, so I take it out, but I don't get all the root system, and each root is like a new plant trying to find the sunlight and grow. It's the second time I've had the backhoe out digging that thing up. Anyway, oh, did I mention? Manic Mark, Record Saturday. I just gave the dogs a bath. I don't know what they're barking at. They smelled pretty bad, so I gave them a bath. Now they should be happy. Mr. Burns like, give me my bath. He loves to have a bath. Oh. So, okay, so then, after doing that for 2 hours, I mow the lawn and I just like, well, the deck on my walk behind, the big 42-inch deck walk behind looks a little bit rusty. I think I'll just touch it up. No, it doesn't, you don't just touch anything up. You got to take it all apart. And then you take it down and you just, oh my God, it's so rusty all over. You got to sandblast it. And you're sandblasting it, and then it starts to rain on you. Right when you're half an hour away from getting the thing prepped so that you can put at least a coat of primer on it. Angry Orchard, oh damn. These things need an opener. I'm so angry, I'm drinking Angry Orchard. Angry Orchard, what the hell? Apple Crisp, whatever that is. I'm here with some records today. And the only thought I've got is, recently I've been getting into new... Shut up! I'm very nice to my dogs, but sometimes they think something's happening, and it's not happening. We go, every day we go through this about this time when they think something should be happening, and it's not time for it to happen, which is dinner time. They get excited over an hour early. And they won't leave me alone! Okay, so where was I? What was I talking about? Oh! The wonder of the internet. I wanted to bring up one part why the wonder of the internet, and that's the news of the weird. Okay, now when I was growing up before the internet, see, all my videos now are going to be, I was so old that this is what happened before. That you people out there that aren't that old, you have no idea. Before the internet, you would hear stories of like, that was kind of weird. Or, you know, you would be in the grocery line waiting to be for the next in line, not to scan your stuff, but to have the cashier go through it. And you would look at the National Enquirer, and there'd be like a B-52 on the moon. B-52 bomber found on the moon. It would be a B-52 found on the moon in a crater. Of course they made that up, but there were other things that they just embellished on the story. But then you knew that. The point is, you picked up the Enquirer or whatever, the couple of those newspaper, and you knew that there were stories that were embellished. So you didn't really, I personally, it's like, you know. It's, you know, it's kind of like humorous and this and that or whatever. But with the internet, now you know that people do the stupidest stuff and the weirdest stuff, the stuff that's like disgusting and horrible to everything, each other and animals and whatever. I mean, it's never ending. It's a constant flow of weird, disgusting things. Okay, we, people like me, Manic Mark, my age, we were insulated because it just was too hard to get that information out. But now it's not hard at all. It's very easy to look up every day and find the most disgusting weird things you can possibly find that go on in the world, okay? People stabbing people with porcelain owls because, you know, they didn't ejaculate enough for them during sex. I mean, just stuff that you can't make up. Yes, in fact, you can make it up. That brings me to my other point. You can make it up, but nobody would frickin' believe you. You can't write fiction as good as nonfiction, as the things that happen in real life, the weird things that happen. You can't do it, okay? So that brings me to my major point tonight, which is people that are making stuff up. You have to make stuff up that's better than ever before because you just make up the weird stuff and people are like, so what? That happened in real life. Nobody cares. You got to make up stuff that's like cerebrally weird and out there and distant. And then you're fighting against the scientists who are talking about the experiment, right? Where they're trying to find these things called packets, I think, if I remember correctly, which they're really tiny, like quarks, I guess, small, really small. But they think if they can figure out to somehow determine if there are these little small things that they can say that the universe is a holograph because there's no continuous. It's pixelated. Everything's pixelated. And if you can figure that out, then you can take the pixels and you can make whatever you want. You can make another Earth. Hey, there's another Earth. Music for baritones and bathing beauties. It's hard to really get into the cover because, hey, let's put a couple of giant bath towels. I know it says his and hers. Okay, that's fine. It's American Standard Plumbing Contractor. It's an album specially processed by RCA Custom Division for the American Standards Plumbing and Heating Division. It's a song poem album. Why did those song poem guys put something on the cover that's worth looking at? It's because they don't care. Song poem album guys don't care. It's like, well, it's got to be kind of like, you know, everybody likes butterflies. So that when the people in the back who paid money to have their music put on the album, they get the record, they're like, okay, I like a butterfly, that's fine with me. So they don't like call up and say, why did you put a picture of his and her bath towels on the cover? I don't get it. And another fabulous cover. It's David Russ, Where There's Life. They must have had some deal with Budweiser. Look at that Budweiser bottle. That's got to be an illustration. They had to work on that. What the hell is the deal going on here? What's the 1960? That looks way not like 1960. It looks more like 1958. This is what happens when you try to sandblast something and it doesn't work and you decide to break out the hard cider. This looks amazing. It's Don Rauque with bongos. Gershwin with bongos. What's this? It's a Columbia record, New Latin Dance Craze. Bufartikit. Yasu Charanga. I have to apologize because the really nice person that sent me these albums is probably mortified watching these videos of how I present these things. The non-intellectual, very disjointed 2 or 3 hard ciders to the wind kind of presentation. Alright, save that till last. Just a nice cover on a budget label, Golden Crest. It's Louis Carter. I don't know who he is. He's a taxi cab driver. Can't you tell by the photograph? Oh, sorry about that. And he sings songs to people, love songs, when he has them in the cab. If I had a nose full of nickels, one of Louis' love songs. I'm not making that up. Spectacular. Spectacular to find a copy of The Shags, Philosophy of the World. Yay! One of my favorite groups. I've been looking for this album forever. This is awesome. Although I'm sure it's probably all on YouTube. What the hell? I may play another. And if you go look them up, this is just off the top of my head. I have no idea. Frank Zappa loved these 3 young girls because although there were lots of like private press and song poem stuff that I'm sure Frank had the money and probably bought a lot of records. He was kind of into all that. He probably heard all that stuff. But I think these girls kind of like sort of try to electrify rock out, you know, really lo-fi, kind of just do their own thing. There's a whole story. I think one of them still maybe came out and did a couple, anyway. But just really just kind of like, sort of like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. So it seems interesting, even though it's very much like a lot of other things that could have been out at the time. But they just broke. If that low, if everything is like bubbling down here, they popped up and fell out on the top of the stove, out of the pot, and like, hey, here we are. You know, where the other things just couldn't do that. Oh, geez. Anyway, it's the video for Saturday. Thanks for stopping by. It's a vintage.
He always likes to roam. My pal's name is Foot. I never find him home. I go to his house, knock at his door. People come out and say, Foot, don't live here no more. My pal Foot, always likes to roam. My pal Foot, now he has no home. Where will Foot go? What will Foot do? Oh, Foot, I wish I could find you. I've looked here, I've looked there, I've looked everywhere. Oh, Foot, why can't I find you? Foot, where can you be? Foot, why won't you answer me? Foot, oh, Foot, wherever you are, I want you to come home with me. I don't have time to roam. I have things to do. I have to go home. Oh, Foot, where are you? Foot didn't like to roam so well, he would still have a place to dwell. Foot, please answer me. I know where you are, you're behind that tree. Foot, please come to me. Foot, now that you're here, won't you come home? Foot, promise me this, that you will never